It's the starting five. I'm Yaron Weitzman. This week, we are here to talk about the red hot Boston Celtics. 2 months ago, they were just 18-21 in 11th place in the Eastern Conference. In their last 25 games, however, they have gone 19-6. That is the best winning percentage in the NBA over that span. It's been an incredible turnaround for a team that appeared to be done. The Boston Celtics are clearly championship contenders. Here are 5 reasons why. Number 1, starting lineup dominance. When I tell you that the Celtics have the best starting lineup in the NBA, that's not me giving an opinion or offering a subjective. That is a fact. The starting lineup of Al Horford, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, Marcus Smart, and Robert Williams III have played 325 minutes together. In that span, they've outscored opponents by a ridiculous 27 points per 100 possessions. That is by far the best mark of any five-man group in the entire NBA. Remember early in the season when Marcus Smart was criticizing teammates like Tatum and Brown for not passing the ball enough?
And every team is programmed and studied to stop Jayson and Jaylen. And, I think everybody's scouting report is make those guys try to pass the ball. They don't want to pass the ball. And that's something that they're going to learn. They're still learning.
Yeah, we're not getting many quotes like that anymore. Number 2, lockdown D. This has been the greatest catalyst for the Celtics turnaround. It's not just that they have the NBA's second best defensive rating, and they're also about to overtake the Warriors at number 1, but that since the new year on January 1st, a 28-game sample, they've held opponents to a minuscule 102.3 points per 100 possessions, which basically means they're turning everyone into the Oklahoma City Thunder, the league's worst offensive team. Here's how rookie head coach Ime Udoka described the Celtics defense after holding the Kings to 75. Yes, you heard that right. 75 points in a January win.
We got big wings. We're still bigs, and obviously a pit bull for a point guard. So there's no real weakness out there, nobody to pick on, which is the case with other teams at times. So we're getting off to really good starts, and that's obviously been different from early in the year.
The Celtics are able to do this by riding a complex yet simple scheme. No team switches opposing pick and rolls more than the Celtics. That allows them to stay out of rotation, and because everyone in their lineup is either big for his size or quick for his position, they're able to guard guys one-on-one and keep opposing ball handlers in front of them. It's no accident that no team has forced more long twos than Boston, and only 2 teams are giving up fewer shots at the rim. The Celtics have transformed their defense into one of the best units we've seen in recent years. It's certainly good enough to help them win a championship. Number 3, the Time Lord has emerged. It's not that Robert Williams III is better or more important than Jayson Tatum or Jaylen Brown, the Celtics' foundational stars, but I'm mentioning him before them because his emergence as the anchor and a backbone of this incredible defense is exactly the type of thing that pairing needed to help elevate them over the top. You know how we mentioned the Celtics' awesome switching defense before? Well, Williams' versatility has been the key to that scheme being successful. The Celtics are actually doing something really cool and interesting with him. Whereas most teams would take a 6'9" guy like him and stash him at the rim, the Celtics have him guarding the worst shooter on opposing teams so that he can basically be a free safety. He's not being dragged to the top of the key and put in pick and rolls. He just sits back and rotates whenever a defender comes into the paint. He's basically tied for the league lead in blocks, and thanks to his 7'6" wingspan, is one of the league's best at deterring shots at the rim. Number 4, the strength of J&J. We can't talk about the Celtics without talking about their dynamic duo of Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Remember early in the season when there was all that talk about whether it was time to break that pairing up? And the rumors had gotten so loud that Tatum even felt the need to address them during a podcast with JJ Redick. Yeah, I'd say Tatum was right and that ship has sailed. Both Tatum and Brown are incredible two-way players. Sure, the ball can stick in their hands sometimes, and you like to see some more consistent shooting and playmaking from both. But they have both established themselves as 2 of the best wings in the NBA, Tatum especially. To quote my good friend Michael Pina over at Sports Illustrated, Tatum is a 23-year-old, 3-time All-Star who ranks 6th in real plus-minus, is averaging as many points as Steph Curry with a higher usage of LeBron James and Nikola Jokic. He's basically become a one-man offense. The Celtics' offensive rating with Tatum goes from 7th best when he's on the floor to 29th when he sits. You combine these two with a stellar defense, and you have a recipe for a championship contender. Number 5, newfound depth. We've mentioned the 5 starters already, but we need to give love to 2 Celtics reserves. First off is Grant Williams, who you probably know as the good defender who opponents were often leaving open in the corner. No longer is that the case. Williams has become an elite three-point shooter. He's actually 3rd in three-point percentage in the entire NBA, all while playing his stellar defense. There's also reserve guard Derek White, who the Celtics were able to get from the Spurs over at the trade deadline. White is a fantastic defender, big and fast for his position, and his verve has injected some life into the Celtics offense. The two of them give the Celtics more depth and 7 players who can play lockdown D and fit in seamlessly with one another. With these 7 players, the Celtics have one of the best cores in the NBA. In a crowded Eastern Conference, there's no reason these Celtics can't emerge from the pack. That's the starting 5. I'm Yaron Weitzman. For more great NBA coverage, be sure to check out the Fox Sports app.